Come on, Miss Williams. Woo woo! Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am Miss Bishop. I am the proud principal of McNair Discovery Learning Academy. I am super excited for everyone to be here tonight. We have an esteemed panel guests here that serve as our panelists, and I will let them all introduce themselves.
All right. Is this thing on? There we go. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Janikqua Cutno. Feel free to just call me Jay or Cutno. And I'm the corporate director of the Office of Health Impact at Emory Healthcare. Can I ask a favor? Could I just get all of us to shift right on up to one of these front rows? Because my girl said, Listen, we are in community, and so when we are in community, we want to be together, and we want to be as close as we can so that we can allow that love and that joy to just spread to our friends.
Come on, Mr. Gaither. Come on up front. Come on, Miss
And I
Bennett.
appreciate y'all so
Bennett
much.
and friends.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Even my little babies in the back. Little mama with your chips. All right. Thank you so much for just kind of accommodating me and appeasing me on that. Because I feel like we should have a very intimate conversation. And so, thank you.
Good evening. I am Nurse Practitioner Washington. I am the nurse practitioner at McNair DLA. I work for Medcura.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Lamarlo Williams. I'm a school social worker at MDLA. Hope everybody's doing well.
Thank you so much to my panelists for being here. So I'm going to serve dual roles this time. So last time, if you were at the town hall, I was the moderator, and we had Dr. Wilson Phillips here, as well as Dr. Omade here. And I was merely a moderator, meaning any questions that you all had, I read the questions to the panelists and they answered them. However, I'm going to do both tonight. So I'm going to be asking questions to you all from the crowd, but I also will be moderating, meaning I'll be reading bios and also, gathering any feedback from the crowd as well. So I'll be doing dual roles, so just bear with me. All right, so thank you all for introducing yourself. I have a really quick bio for each of our panelists, just so you can all know who they are, and then once you hear their bios, you can tailor your questions accordingly. Sound good? All right. Hey, TV Land. And if you guys have any questions, I believe, Gord, you have a way that they can ask the questions virtually as well. So we'll start with NP Washington. NP stands for Nurse Practitioner Washington, Barbara Washington. So she is a certified pediatric nurse practitioner at Medcura School-Based Health Center at McNair DLA. Yes, yes, yes. Bringing over 15 years of experience in pediatric healthcare. She believes that true health includes both physical and mental well-being, and she works tirelessly to ensure students have the support they need to thrive. Her energy, dedication, and commitment to community wellness make her a trusted leader and advocate for youth health. Ms. Washington earned her Bachelor of Nursing degree at the University of Alabama in Huntsville and her Master in Nursing from Georgia State University, and she is happy to work with the McNair DLA family daily. Let's give it up.
Welcome, welcome.
Next, we have Miss Lamarlo Williams. She is a licensed certified social worker who serves McNair Discovery Learning Academy and Narby J. Harris Traditional Theme Elementary School. So she serves at both schools, but she spends most of her time at the DLA.
MDLA. That's true.
Yes. She works with students and families to support social emotional learning, improve attendance, strengthen positive behavior, and address mental health needs. Ms. Williams also provides crisis support and partners with families to connect them with valuable community resources. She earned her Bachelor of Arts in Sociology from the University of Wisconsin-Madison and her Master of Social Work from Loyola University in Chicago. Overall, Ms. Williams believes in building trusting relationships and is deeply committed to ensuring every student feels supported, safe, and ready to learn. Thank you so much, Ms. Williams. And last but not least, we have a very, very special guest from Emory Healthcare, Mrs. Janikqua Cutno, or how shall we say, Miss J. J is fine. Janikqua is a visionary learner, strategist, and advocate dedicated to designing and scaling impactful community initiatives. With a deep commitment to social justice, community organizing, and capacity building, she has played a pivotal role in reimagining violence prevention efforts and fostering resilience in underserved communities, similar to ours. Currently serving as Corporate Director of Health Impact, Janikqua leads innovative strategies. Currently serving as Corporate Director of Health Impact, Janikqua leads okay.
We just want to make sure y'all.
Right. Did a little playback. She leads innovative strategies to reduce violence and improve community well-being. She has successfully launched and managed initiatives that address systematic inequities and is recognized nationally for her ability to cultivate partnerships, drive sustainable change, and advocate for holistic approaches to prevent harm and violence. Janikqua holds a bachelor's and a master's degree in social work from the Andrew Young School of Policy Studies at Georgia State University. Her work is rooted in the belief that collective action and strategic investment in communities can create lasting transformation. And that is Ms. Cutno. Let's give it up.
Social workers are everywhere.
Social workers are among us.
Necessary.
Yes. So we'll start with questions. Parents, guests. We have some panelists up here and they're ready to have some candid convos.
Well, I'll ask. I mean, when you think of parent advocacy, in one word, what would you say? Parent advocacy. It's okay if you don't know. When I think of it in one word, I would think of partnership. Anybody else? Empowerment, okay. Support. I heard something over here. Supporter, okay. And it's all of those things.
Okay. So the purpose of the town hall tonight is to ensure that you all as parents, community members, and pillars of the community do feel empowered, and that as a school and as a community, we are here to serve not only our children, but to serve you all as well. So parents play a very pivotal role as one of the most key stakeholders in our community that can impact change with our students. You are your children's first teacher. And I say this all the time. We are certified to teach your children, but our teaching can go only so far. So we really rely on parents to continue the trajectory of success at home and continue to instill those values that we pour into your children outside of the schoolhouse. So that's what we're here for tonight. And with this being our second installment of the town hall, I just want to pour into the parents as much as possible so you all know we care about you, we love you just as much as we love your children. We want to make sure you feel like you can come to McNair and get anything you want, from Medcura to our partners at Georgia Power, Emory, our social worker, myself. I have our counselor here, Mr. Gaither. I have the Department of Wraparound Services from DeKalb County in the back. We all partner to make sure that you all feel supported whatever you need. So I hope that will make you all feel more comfortable. And yes, we have on suits and high heels and all the things, but we're parents.
You guys are great.
Yeah, y'all look amazing, right? But outside of these clothes, we're parents. You know, I have a child. She has a child. We all have children. And we also want that same advocacy at our children's school as well. So why not start in our own neighborhood, in our own backyard, and provide that space?
Thank you for opening it up. I have a question. We're talking a lot about, everybody can hear me? Okay. We're talking a lot about advocacy and support and what that means to us. Would someone like to share what it looks like to them and what kind of support they would like to have? Come on, sister.
Yeah, you're a mom. This is mom.
Could we get our mic? Mm-hmm.
My son has a village around him anyway. He's been at McNair since pre-K, so I really don't have any issues, any problems with the school or, you know, I've been in the neighborhood since I went to Leslie J. Steele before it was McNair. So, and my mom went to Leslie J. Steele. So I've been in the neighborhood forever. I think McNair, you know, it put another level in our neighborhood for the kids. Because Leslie J. Steele was good, but, you know, transforming it into something new where they could build their own legacy was better for me versus, you know, I know what I did in Leslie J. Steele and what it looked like and what McNair looks like. My son loves school, so I don't have any, you know, issues. And he's a good kid. I don't really have no problem about him, so I don't.
Yeah. No, that's a beautiful response.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I don't want to interrupt you.
But I'll let you finish.
Okay, so that's a really beautiful response, and I think I'm very similar to you in that way, where I have a 16-year-old, but he's one of the quote-unquote good kids. And, you know, the good kids, they always get that support. I love that you say he has a village. He has the arms wrapped around him. For some of the kids that go to school with our babies that do have a village, some of them don't. And it's up to us to kind of have that community moral voice and that collective mindset to say, okay, how do we help the ones around us too? Can you think of anything that would be helpful for maybe some of the children that you see in your community that your kid goes to school with?
On East Drive, and I know it was like maybe 2 kids that maybe walked past my house. For the most part, where we are, everybody kids grown. I was late to the party. So like mine's 8, he in the 3rd grade. So like I don't really see the 2 little boys I did see. I think they transferred or something. So like it's just I don't know. And I don't see them walking like you know it used to be a lot of kids walking up and down the street. So I don't see that anymore. So you know, and then my baby he only knows so many kids. So and they live all the way over here. So you know they on the phone and stuff. But I don't know the parents. The jobs with the jobs and stuff nowadays, a lot of parents aren't even really at home when the kids at home. So I don't know. I don't know how we as parents who I have time, a lot of parents don't. So that's usually an issue. And I've seen this a lot of people that's not from here that's moving here and don't know the neighborhood. So they don't speak, they don't talk. And they send their kids to Drew Charter. It's a lot of the kids in our neighborhood go to Drew Charter. So
You're touching on something super important, but I'm going to turn it over to
But
my
and I wanted to say, I wanted to jump in and say that parent advocacy doesn't always have to be a weakness or a conflict. It could be creative. It could be like you say, your child. Can you think of some strengths that he have? And then you can come back to us and ask us, how can you build on those strengths? Like what programs do you have in the school to build on those strengths? So it doesn't always have to be, he's fine, he's doing well. Okay, bring him in. How can we build on those skills? What can we do to partner with you? And like, for instance, what are your child's strengths? Okay,
I know that's right.
he has a lot of strengths, but
name them.
okay. He likes to learn.
Awesome.
He likes to learn, so that he's always asking questions.
Okay.
He's kind of a cautious guy because he's around older people, like his grandpa, great grandpa. So he's kind of, I'm not gonna say scary. He's just cautious. He's not like, nah, Mom, I'm not finna try that. I might hurt myself. Like, he's one of those kids. Like, I don't want to try that.
So how can we nurture that? How can we nurture those skills and those gifts that he have?
I know, like, y'all program, like, as far as the ages go, they have to wait so long.
How old is he?
He in the 8th grade. I'm sorry, he's 8 years old.
Oh,
He's in
8.
3rd grade.
Okay.
And, like, it's certain ages, you know, we have to wait till certain things they can do. I think we need to start a little earlier with certain activities to let the younger kids, you know, get a little taste of the older kids stuff that they're
So
doing.
you say he loves to learn, maybe STEM, book club. You know, we can partner with someone, bring them in after school or something like that.
Yeah, he was in the tutorial program last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tutorial program last year. He liked that. So, yeah, anytime it's any kind of program, he always comes to me and wants to join stuff. So, like I say, I really don't have any issues. I was just coming to be nosy.
We like nosy.
And I'm always up. Like, I come to the school often, so
And this is what we want.
yeah, I try to come to the school as often as I can. So I've been trying to keep up with things, but for the most part, like I said, our neighborhood is just, it's changed to where the kids aren't, it's not that many in our little area. So I don't know. I can't. He, like I say, every like I say, program, he brings it to me if he wants to get involved. I know he likes to dance, he likes to sing, you know, and I know like the School of Arts with DeKalb County, I think we need to offer more stuff like they offer, like as far as the talent shows and stuff like that. I don't think we really have enough of that.
And those ideas, you can bring the bishop.
Yeah,
You can bring the bishop.
my baby like to sing and dance a lot.
Well, thank you for that. And let me touch on some things. First of all, I appreciate you being involved. I appreciate you being so brave and vulnerable in this space because, you know, as a parent, you know, we brag on our children so much, but to do it in a space like this is brave. So thank you for sharing those strengths with your, and then also you shared some growth areas for your child as well. So thank you. Is he involved in sports? Okay. Mark Trail, yes. Oh, NH Scott, I'm sorry. The old Decatur, right?
Mark Trail.
And like even with those programs up there, it was hardly any children, even enough kids for their teams, like the younger teams. You know, of course, like 10 and 12-year-olds, but like 8 and under, very, very hard. It's just about, I don't know, like it's different now.
It's different now, yes, yes.
It's like they don't have time.
They don't have time, yeah. And I receive that. And what I will say is, I know that I know you're taking notes. I have someone on my team also taking notes as well. You want to see more programming as far as fine arts, as far as musical performances. Okay, we do have a Black History program tomorrow, and what we can do better at is just making sure that we open up these programmings to all ages and make sure we just do a better job at really canvassing the school and talking to kids and getting them out of their shell, because kids have so many strengths and we really don't know their strengths until we really build that relationship with them and talk to them on a deeper level. And I'll be vulnerable and say, as an educator, when you walk in the building in the morning, you know, you're strictly focused on teaching and learning, right? But talents go so much further than the classroom. Kids could be interested in coding. They could be interested in drawing, creating things, building stuff, you know, speaking, singing, dancing. So there's so many talents that children are gifted in. But it does start with building those relationships with children and getting them out of the classroom where they may or may not be as successful in just talking to them, getting to know them. So we can do better with that. I think we could do a lot better with that. So I receive that.
Can I just acknowledge for a second that what you just did is parent advocacy? You just did it by saying, well, this is what I like to see. my son is great, but here's how we can make him greater. And it was received immediately. And so those are the sorts of things when we talk about supporting our parents and supporting our communities, it is make your wishes. Let us know what it is that we can do for you. And that goes for the schools, that goes for the businesses and the organizations that are in your community. We have a duty and an obligation to support the communities that we're located in. And so get very comfortable being vocal, even if you're not sure how to phrase it, or if it's even possible. Put the message out there, because there's always going to be someone listening, and there's always an opportunity. So thank you for saying that, and thank you again for being vulnerable and being brave and saying, this is what I need. So I love that. Thank you. Can we give her some acknowledgement?
Snaps.
What types of support? Oh, did you have a question? Go ahead.
I did, just real quick. Just in terms of trying to help parents navigate and understand the services that you provide, can each of the panelists just kind of share the types of services that your organization provides and help us to kind of understand what it is that we could advocate for?
That's an excellent question. So I will start with my former work at Emory Hillendale Hospital. So I've had a little bit of a transition the past couple months, but for the past 4, 5, 6 years or so, I've been doing a lot of work in the violence prevention space. And so at our hospital at Emory, anytime someone gets shot or they get stabbed or otherwise injured from a violent injury, they come into our hospital and we have a team that responds to that. They talk to them, they connect with them, see what kind of supports it is that they need, and how we can help them, A, not come back to the hospital, but B, also, how do we prevent them from retaliating? We know the common theme right now is something happened to me, I'm a spin back. I got to go get my get back, right? Our whole job is interrupting that, because that is what continues the cycle of violence. And so our focus is understanding what those needs are. If you're great, how can we make you greater? If this was an isolated incident, how can we give you the support that you need so you're not caught in this situation again? If it's school supports, if it's education, if it's getting a job, if it is, mental health, those are the things that we're focusing on in that capacity. So what I will say now about my newer role, my work is really centered on community engagement, so doing things just like this. How do we come out to the neighborhoods that need support, listen, hear these sorts of things? So Mom, you're saying, okay, well, we need creative outlets. We need opportunities to engage our babies a lot earlier. So that my conversation, do I call you Principal Shayla? Yes. So my conversation with Principal Bishop would then be, how can we partner to support you in that, right? Because it may be a budget thing. It could be something around funding. It could also be something around bandwidth and capacity, but we don't know until we explore it. And so community engagement, that's a big part of what we do, is offer those supports and resources into the community. We also have a community health initiatives program where we are really addressing what the health issues are in our communities. We know like maternal health is the big one. Black women have some of the highest mortality rates. We have some of the lowest birth weights for our babies. And those are all for a reason, right? And so our work is really addressing it. If there is hypertension, if there's diabetes, some heart and vascular issues, right? We're thinking about what those issues are and having conversations with our community just like this to figure out, what do we need? How can we support you in that space? Is it some education? Is it access? Do you need a little pill carrier so you can take your pills every day? Do you need to understand your water intake so you can keep your kidneys functioning, right? And so it's really breaking down those silos of communication and really understanding what those gaps are. And then, again, there's still the violence prevention work that happens out at Hillendale. And we actually go out to a few DeKalb County schools and talk to our young people about conflict resolution, de-escalation. How do we have conversations? I heard you name something, Mom, a little earlier about your son being able to speak up and say what he likes and what he doesn't like. That's a skill. And we have to build that in our babies, because when our babies don't have that confidence and they can't assert themselves, then they're either at risk for being bullied or bullying someone else because they can't use that voice the way that they need to. And so we're having conversations about social emotional learning. What can we do to better prepare you to go out and navigate in this world? How can we get you to talk yourself down or calm down when you're facing a situation that could escalate to violence? And all of it is done through relationships, right? So it's not a one-off. We can't just come in here, have a conversation one time, and think our job is done, right? We got to show up consistently. And so if our conversation with Principal Bishop is, we need this now, we need this earlier. It's great that y'all do it at high school, but we need it in elementary because now is where our babies are starting to show those behaviors. Then that's something that we can take, listen, address, and put those supports in place. And so I know I talked a lot, but that's like a very big picture. I've got like 4 programs under. And so that's pretty much the work that we're doing across Emory. So we've got 11 hospitals. This work can show up anywhere across Metro Atlanta. And so I say that to not be shy. And I'm happy to say, I don't want to announce it too soon, but we're actually working on formalizing a partnership so that some of these arts and outlets that you're mentioning, Mom, we can be able to bring those to the community. And where it won't just be for the babies, it can be for the parents as well. Because we all know we can't pour from an empty cup. So we can't give our babies anything that we don't have ourselves. And so making sure that we have the support that we need. Like, I'm not sure who in the room can attest to this, but I was a teen parent. I had my son at 19. He's 16 now, and it was hard as ever, right? And I needed support that I couldn't access. And so I know firsthand what it looks like to need something and can't get it. And then I know how to like figure it out, claw my way into the solution. And so I say that to say I now want to stand in the gap where we don't have to claw our way out of stuff. You name something like we don't talk to each other. We don't know each other. We don't have community. That's the problem. We used to have connective tissue, at least back in my day. You go play in the neighborhood. You can talk to your neighbors. If you were getting in trouble, somebody's grandmama is going to get you in line. If you were hungry, you can get a meal. We don't have those villages anymore. And so those are the things that we have to restore. And when I talk about a community obligation, that's what it looks like to stand in that gap. To be able to hear, okay, I've got access to spaces. Principal Bishop got access to spaces. How can we use these platforms that we now have to make sure parents in the room are getting what they need? Babies in the room are getting what they need. So I know that was a very lengthy response, and please forgive me because I get on the soapbox. So I'm going to pass it to my sister over here.
Well, I am the nurse practitioner at our school-based health clinic, and some few facts about school-based health clinic is school-based health clinics were put in place so that parents did not have to leave work to go and take their kids to the doctor. We are not trying to replace your child's pediatrician, but a lot of kids get sick during the school day. And what easier place for them to be seen and cared for is while they're at school. Most kids get a sore throat, a cold, a cough, a fever while they are at school. Great thing about at McNair, if that happens while they're at school, or even first thing in the morning while they're at home, they can still come to school. They can come to school, they can be triaged by their school nurse. Nurse Dixon is there, and if need be, she will send them down to our school-based health clinic, and I can see them. If they're consented to be seen, we can be seen, and while they are being seen, I am always, while you are being seen, we are in contact with the parent, usually during the whole visit, either by video or by phone, constantly talking to the parent, and we are talking about the plan of care. Our school-based health clinic does a lot of things. We can do primary care visit, meaning we can do your well visit. We can do your sick visit. We can do your mental health visit if they are suffering from ADHD. We are having problems with depression. We are having problems coping with skills. We are having problems coping with other things that are going on at home. We have a counselor, a LCSW, in our facility where we can do counseling during the school day. We are newly having our care coordinator, so if there are other things that are going in around the home, if mom is having some issues finding work, if mom is having issues finding some other resources, we are now equipped to help with some other things now. So we are building on things that we can help outside of just helping the child. We are expanding so we can help and reach out as far as reaching out into the community. And so that is the biggest partnership right now that we would like to extend to our community, extend to the parents inside the school, and what will be something that we are offering 5 days a week. And so that is the greatest thing I feel like we can bring to our community right now. And partnership with that is that we also, this next 6 months, Dr. Omade is our psychiatrist. And so once a week we do have a psychiatrist, a pediatric psychiatrist actually, that is in our office, offering for those kids who do need medicine management for ADHD. If we feel like who've been in counseling for a while and feel like there is a need for medicine management, we do now have the opportunity to offer medicine management and follow up along with our counseling service. And so we're just building on the bridges of pediatric care a full circle now. And so that is the greatest thing that we can do with school-based health. And the greatest thing is all this, we can still have a relationship with your child's pediatrician because all of these records are in combination with your child's pediatrician. We can send all these records back to your child's pediatrician in real time electronically after every visit. So we're not trying to replace your child's relationship with your child's pediatrician too.
So I'm a school social worker.
I have a question.
Oh. Go ahead.
Ms. Washington, did you say that you could help parents find jobs? Is that what I heard?
A part of our new process with our care coordinator, we are in reach with, if there is a need for certain services with job searching, yes, that is something that we will be able to offer.
So if I'm in need, who do I ask? Where do I go to ask? Is it discretionary or like?
Yeah, yes, it is discretionary, and it is a process. And so I would turn you over to our care coordinator, and she will be able to help you with those services. You're welcome.
Parents how to navigate the system. So I'm a school social worker, so I'm student-centered, and we provide a lot of services. I was like, when I was thinking about what I would say today, it was like so much. So I hope Shelly, you pull in if I forget something. But that's my boss. So we do school-based programming. We work with McKinney-Vito families, the homeless families, so we provide lots of services to those students. We also provide services to foster care students, trauma-informed care. That finally got on the books maybe, 5 years ago or something like that, where we recognize that these children have trauma, and we provide screenings, assessments, planning, and annual, follow-up with these families. So, and I'm glad we do that. Also, crisis responses, we do that, like death, fire. Last year, recently, we had just a tragic death, and we provided grieving counseling to those students and those families. In terms of family and community, we have tons of resources. So, what I would tell a parent is we like to be solution focused. So this would take like coming in, it's not a quick fix. We come in and have a one-on-one conversation. And it's kind of hard for parents because oftentimes they think maybe, I don't want these people to know my business and things like that, but everything is confidential, and we just have to assess needs and see where we can provide support. If your kid needs counseling, family needs counseling, things of that sort. Utility bills, all these organizations out there, we have these resources to provide for families. It just depends on your need. So that's what we do for families and communities. And for students, safety and wellness. If a student is not feeling safe, they won't learn. If a student medical situation, if they're not feeling well, they won't learn. So when you talked about social emotional learning, we do that. We partner, and we work team. Everything is team too. So we have other support services. We have our counselor there. We have behavior specialists, student support. Like we all work together to try to support our families. We do self-harm assessments, threat assessments, anti-bullying programming, and by law now we have to do these things. So a lot of things is on the books. I don't know, is there anything, Shelley, I missed? I don't know. We do so much, and I'm really glad because, they kept us isolated. We do, of course, attendance protocol and planning, things like that, but we're just really branching out and doing more. So I'm excited about all of this. This is awesome.
I have a question as far as advocating for parents. People don't talk as much. The village is different. We already understand that. What are some things that you all can provide for mentorship, conflict resolution skills, and just helping students understand how to cope better?
Well, I'll start at the school level. So Ms. Williams really touched greatly on a lot of the programming and the resources that we have at the school level. As far as mentoring, the district is big on mentorships. So the district has a big push on every school having some type of mentor program. We have not only a school-based mentorship program where we do like breakfasts with mentees every month. We have our Sisters Keeper, which is a district initiative, but all schools are required to have some type of chapter of our Sisters Keeper, or OSK. We also have My Brother's Keeper, which was really initially started by the Barack Obama administration. He was a big advocate for My Brother's Keeper, and so DeKalb County picked it up, and every school also has to have a My Brother's Keeper chapter. They push really hard for schools to have My Brother's Keepers, champions of what they would call them. So we do have an MBK chapter at our school as well, and that falls under mentorship. So there are so many opportunities for students to get involved in ensuring that they have an advocate or a confidant, someone that they can go to. Outside of OSK and MBK, I did speak about our school-based mentorship that we have. And again, we do have those monthly breakfasts with our mentees. I have a few mentees that I personally handpicked, and I have great relationships with those mentees. They can come to me, talk to me about anything, and I pick up as many mentees as I can. Of course, I'm the principal, so it's not too many. It's not too much time I have, and I look at all of the kids as my mentees, but those specific students that are on my caseload, we have lunches together, and I talk to their parents a lot. They know who I am on a personal level because I don't mind sharing that piece of me with my mentees. But that's what our kids need. They need to see the human side of us. We need to humanize ourselves. And that's what helps the students to realize, okay, I can get to where Ms. Bishop is. I can be successful. I see a lot of myself in her. Let me try a little bit harder. Let me advocate for myself and speak up and use my words a little bit better. I see how she handles conflict. I see how she deals and communicates with her emotions. Let me try to emulate that just by spending more time with her, talking to her. So these are some of the things that as parents, we want to know. If your child needs a mentor, we have programs at the school where the students can get that mentorship that they need. Recently, we also partnered with 100 Black Men of DeKalb, and I'm super excited about that partnership because they've already come into the school and started reading to our Black boys, right? Let's get a hand clap for that. That's dope, right? That's dope stuff. And I have to credit Terry for that because Terry not only has garnered multiple partnerships, but that was one of the partnerships that he also encouraged of, hey, we really need to push for this. 100 Black Men of DeKalb partner with McNair High School, and they also partner with other middle schools as well throughout DeKalb, but this will be the first time that they're actually truly partnering with us. So like I said, they've already come out to read to the kids. Gorgeous girls. read. That's also like a entity within DeKalb. They have also come out to read to the kids as well. So that was more of a district thing, but they still came to McNair DLA to help our students. So there's so many things I can go on and on about with mentorships. But those are just some of the things that we're doing right now. As far as conflict resolution, Ms. Williams mentioned that we do have a behavior specialist. We do. We have a behavior support specialist. I call her a student support specialist. That's a little bit more of a positive spin. But whenever students exhibit that low emotional fluency, or they need strategies in conflict resolution, or they just have some behavior difficulties, there's some trauma there, Miss Morris, she's not here tonight, but I'm gonna shout her out. I love you, Miss Morris, if you're watching. Love her down, love her down. She intentionally pulls children based on not only referrals, but just classroom observations. My team, they go in classrooms, yes. Our SST team goes in classrooms, our instructional team goes in classrooms as well. So when they go in classrooms, they're looking for children who may be exhibiting some of those lack of strategy. So she pulls kids, she has morning meetings with select students who are suffering and struggling with, as you stated, those conflict resolution. And that's just one of the avenues. And our wonderful counselors, Mr. Gaither and Ms. Ward Jackson, who cannot be here, she is part-time. They also partner with Ms. Morris as well. They do a lot of lunch bunches. Mr. Gaither's been at McNair for 7 years, so he can give you a whole historical context about all the things that he has done, all the programming, and I won't go into all of it, because you do a lot, Mr. Gaither. You do a lot. But he pulls kids in the same manner as Ms. Morris does. He intentionally drills down to not only their attendance issues, but just some of the emotional needs that they have. His office is so calm. There's low light, there's a sofa, there's a place and a space for them to just talk to Mr. Gaither. And if you've ever met Mr. Gaither or spoken to him, you're gonna wanna pour all your feelings out to him, right? I mean, he is just that man who brings that soft presence, that just, I don't know, you just feel comfortable around Mr. Gaither, and you can just say anything to him. That's what our kids need. They need to see not only a black man in a counselor role, being vulnerable, knowing how to communicate their feelings, but Mr. Gaither cares about McNair. He loves the kids at McNair. You will see him with 2-3 kids in his hand, and they're running him crazy, but it doesn't matter. Mr. Gaither is steadfast in all that he does, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I love my counselor. I really do.
Mr. Gaither.
Ms. Williams touched lightly on his role, but he makes up the admin team. So my admin team is large. Ms. Terry knows, it's about 10 of us. So there's a instructional leadership team that does the instructional side, and then there's a student support team that does the student support side. Ms. Williams, Mr. Gaither, and Ms. Ward Jackson, Ms. Morris, our lead teacher for special education, Dr. Drake, they all serve on the student support team. They're admin, but they also go in classrooms. They do warm handoffs of children who may be walking in the hall and just need to, regulate themselves. Mr. Gaither and the rest of the SST team are very well versed in restorative practices. They implement positive behavior interventions and supports, or PBIS. So they're not only knowledgeable, they're trained in strategies and how to help intervene to ensure that our students are safe and ready to learn. So I really, really appreciate my team. Did I miss anything, Gaither?
All right, is it on me?
It's on you.
Were we going in a row? I mean, I think you just knocked it out the park. I mean, how can anybody follow that?
Thank you.
That is just so much. That is so amazing.
Yes.
It's really a beautiful and amazing thing to hear that our babies have that kind of support. And I always say babies, so just forgive me in advance. But to hear our babies have that kind of support is really amazing. Our work at the hospital has been a little bit different in that we focused on the older groups, so high school and middle school. But that's not to say it's not possible for us to really listen, to what you guys need, what the community wants to see, and tailor that messaging so that we can come out and support our younger audiences as well. And so that's always an option. We also provide support. So I know, we're only a few blocks away from an area where a lot of things happen. And they aren't great experiences. And those are tough for our baby to deal with. Ms. Williams had already said, if they can't concentrate, if they can't focus, they're not in the right headspace, they're not ready to learn. And so we would like to be responsive to those situations as well. In addition to supporting people who have come into our hospital with the injury, we also wrap support around their family as well. Whoever is in that family unit, whatever that looks like. And so, if there has been an occurrence, and even if they did not come to our hospital, that's still something that's available to our community, because we want to make sure people get all the therapeutic supports that they need, they get the mental health supports that they need, and they get that additional advocacy. But it sounds like ain't no shortage of support over at MDLA. Am I saying that correctly? Okay, that's what it sounds like. Sounds like it's no shortage of support. But one of the things that I would like to say is all of Emory Healthcare is a part of Emory University. And so we have very unique opportunities to pilot, to learn, to implement things that we may want to see, because it all goes back to learning. It all goes back to growing and developing and strengthening our communities. And so I say that to say there's always an opportunity for innovation, and that is one thing that I'm really passionate about. And so what may not have existed before can exist while I'm here, so rest assured in that. Anything that you guys may want to see, may want to explore and say, hey, give this a try. Let's try to have an event. Terry touched on the village is not being there. Communities have changed. Mom, you said the kids are not coming outside, or they're sending their kids to a school all the way down the road. Well, why is that? Because the perception is that the schools are better, because the perception is that the neighborhood is better. But we can change that. And so part of my personal effort is, how do we build that resilience where now people can look at our communities and say, this is an okay place to live. I'm okay raising my baby here, right? Like, how do we show that message and say, you know what? I'm going to send my baby to MDLA because they're getting it right over there, right? How do we amplify all these programs that are available to all of the students? Can you imagine your baby going to school and being mentored by the principal, right? Like, some of those things just did not exist before, and those are the messages that we have to amplify, and also, like, how do we get the community out? So you guys are all here because you're interested, right? Even if you say, you know what, my baby doing fine, I just came to be nosy. But you came and now you're getting something, you're learning something, you were able to advocate and make some real-time change, right? So then the next step of that is, how do we invite somebody else to come out with us? Okay, let me bring my neighbor, or let me bring the mom from down the street because I know she might need a little bit of support. We don't talk like that, but I heard they got some food. And they got some free stuff in the back. And I saw some real good stuff at that back table. I don't know if we can spin that camera around that way. But, right. But, like, how do we spread the message of this is what's happening in our communities? It's not what you see on the news. It's not what people post online. This is a community that shows up for each other, a community that loves each other, a community that has a real investment. It's not all too often you will have a principal out here on the evening, standing in front of her community saying, hey, this is how we're here to support you. And so part of my charge, and I know this is a little bit around the way to question, but part of my charge is also like, how do we partner to elevate that message? How do we partner where we can show up and kind of bridge the gaps? If this is not happening at other schools in our area, how can we support that so that it does? What is the barrier, right? Like, being in the community.
Step.
Yeah, this is the first step. And so being able to say, okay, this is what worked in our district. This is what worked in our cluster, in our neighborhood. How can we tell our partner schools that this is what we did? How can we get them to know, right? How can we get parents, get that comfort level up where you're willing to speak out and say, hey, you know what, I went and this is what I learned, this is what I took away. And now I'm a parent advocate at the school. What does that opportunity look like for you in terms of growth and development? And so I say that to say there are a lot of ways and a lot of spaces for innovation. It's just about being in rooms like this and having that kind of conversation.
So, a lot of you probably don't know, but this was my baby. One evening after we closed clinic, and I was sitting in Principal Bishop's office, and we were talking about something And I was like, hey, what do you think about a town hall meeting? And part of this reason is because I wanted to get the message out about how do we advocate for our kids, period. I just wanted to make McNair a better place, period. I was new to McNair. I've been there for, I won't get emotional, but I have been there for a year, and we're working so hard, and I saw so much in a year, and these are bright, beautiful kids, and I had 3 beautiful babies at my house, and I just wanted to be a better place.
Can we give her a round of applause for pioneering something that is so amazing? Because if it were not for you, we would not be here tonight, Ms. Washington. So thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to try to bring what my kids had, what I was raised, what we had, what I was raised, and what we were trying to do, what my job was supposed to do for McNair. And I'm great and blessed that I have a partnership with McNair and with Principal Bishop that we were able to do this. And so that is why I'm here.
Well, you about to make me tear up. Well,
Okay.
What?
The next step.
That's how you feel?
Block
That's how you feel?
That's how it starts. The passion.
That is how it starts. I hope you all feel the passion in her voice. I mean, that speaks volumes, you guys. I mean, we really, really love the McNair community. And when I became principal at the school and I found out we had a school-based health clinic, I was like, oh, that's dope. That is legendary. I didn't know anything about that. I'm like, wait, how can we partner? How can we make this thing like spark up? And I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna toot my own horn. What? What's wrong? Oh, I got a question. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me say this real quick. YouTube land. We are we're one of the only schools that have the school-based health clinic. So Doraville United has one, and McNair has one. Right. Clap it up. That's fine. Clap. That's fine. But McNair DLA and Medcura, the relationship is way better. We do way more together. And when I tell you we work together, we're family. They are not a separate entity. They are a part of McNair, and we are a part of Medcura. Teacher Appreciation Week, Christmas, Thanksgiving, everything. They get fed, we get fed. They are in the school, they are a part of us, and we are a part of them, and we love you guys.
We do.
Y'all are family. Y'all are family. And I mean that. And when I say family, I took my son to Medcura. I trusted her with my son. Right? So that speaks volumes to he over there not paying attention. He 14. But yeah, so thank you. And I teared up because I love you, Dr. Washington. You are amazing. And I don't think people realize what a wealth of knowledge you are and how much you really love the community. And we talk so much. And I know. And we have one of those relationships where we're always going to be cool. We're always going to be sisters. So I love her. Yes.
Online question is,
Okay.
how can we increase and improve student support through mental health services? Again, how can we increase and improve student support through mental health services? And that's from Sapphire Crown Jewel on YouTube.
You want to take that away or
Mental health? We can improve it if the need is there. Yeah, there's need, and our district is, it's not starting with the elementary level, but we are doing telehealth at the middle and high school level, I believe. It's called Cartwheel. I just received training in it, so we're doing things. Also, we have Medcura, we have Pathways. Chris.
180?
Chris 180. And so we have the resources. We just have to maybe have workshops with parents, more workshops with parents. Maybe we have to have block parties. In my day, we had block parties. The whole block, we were all cousins. We was all cousins. So maybe coming out to the community, not here in the church, which is, this is an awesome place, but maybe in the community, different subdivisions, and get out and talk with the moms, the dads, and get them, you know, a lot of things is just a lot of mistrust, a lot of stigma out there. So it's like getting them back by just listening to them, validating their feelings, things of that sort, and having workshops. I mean, and we, you know, we have to be flexible. Everything can happen at the school, like something like this or at a different spot. If you really want to meet them, we was out driving at first. I was like, oh my God! But we did. We was like, come out to the. And they was like, okay, bet that. We got it. Bet that. You know, so you know, doing little things like that.
I think the question is, I think that maybe the answer really is that parents need to initiate contact so that they can get these mental health services, because
So that's
this is
what
kind of an
parenting.
open-ended question. How can we increase and improve student support through mental health services? We have to identify that the student needs it. So we need to be able to, maybe the question is, how can we identify who needs to be tested and then make sure that they get the services they need?
Can I also add another layer to that? I think what would be helpful is,
Well, we have protocol, but go ahead. We do. I mean, in
And
the
so-
school system, we do have a protocol. It's called the RTI and TSS process, but go ahead.
yeah, so the other layer of that I think we should consider is it's kind of two sides of the coin. It's like, well, parents have to take the initiative. Well, schools are required to do X, Y, Z, and I think that's where the disconnect happens, when there's a lack of ambiguity. I mean, when there is ambiguity and a lack of shared understanding for where does our role start and stop. And so I think what would be helpful is, how can parents access, right? How can they get their questions answered, get their shared understanding? You named it. Like, there's a lack of trust, right? We have had so much harm done to us in our communities because of systems and entities. And so that can make it difficult for us to speak up. And so how do we create pathways for parents who probably are a little bit shy, need a little bit more knowledge, need a little more understanding, probably need to massage the relationship a little bit more so that we can get parents connected
And
to
I mentioned actually going into their community. You can't expect them to maybe come in this house of worship, or maybe in the school. We have to meet them out there. And we just did a little, you know, a little 10-minute thing. Even though I mean, we do little stuff when I'm doing home visits and things of that sort. But we got to meet them where they are. We have to meet them where they are. So,
For sure. And I think what's really important is having, I don't know where y'all went to school, but I'm a product of APS, y'all. And I remember back in the day, we had one school nurse for the entire cluster. You might see that nurse one day a week. It don't matter what's wrong with y'all, baby, the nurse not here. And so I just want to applaud you for being able to put something like that in place and be able to, we got psychiatric support. Y'all know how powerful that is? Sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know how many families are aware of those services, right? And I'm sure you guys are doing an amazing job. We have Medcura at a couple Emory sites, but how many people are really aware of the breadth of all of those services? That if your baby needs this kind of support, here's who you can go to, right? And so it's about, how do we communicate that in a way that parents can absorb it? Because I'm a busy mom. I may not always read the newsletter. I might not always check my email. What I will have is that phone in my hand, and I'm going to check them text messages, though. You know what I mean? And so it's like, how can we get outside of the box with short bursts of information so people know, hey, this is what we got to offer. This is what we have at your school. Did you know this? Do you know how to access it? Do you know it's free? Because that's the problem. Sometimes,
free.
if it costs money, don't count me out, right? So how do we get that out and create that pathway? And please let me know if in the chat that still hasn't answered that question.
Yeah.
I want to interject as well. So what you said was so important, the communication. So And in the chat too, if you guys can just comment on if our communication needs to get better or if what we have in place is working. So I send out weekly newsletters to the staff and to the parents. Do you get them? And Class Dojo. So thank you, Mom, for affirming that. Because I work hard on those newsletters.
I know.
But we have, in the parent newsletter, there's a circulating flyer for Medcura. There's parent tips in there. There's stuff about attendance. It's a one-stop shop for the parents to just get information. What I don't have on the newsletter is a space where you all can just do a form maybe to give any feedback or jot down any things you guys need. So that's something that maybe I could do in YouTube land. If you all feel like that is important and needed, then please let me know. Class Dojo, newsletters, calling posts, we do those. Medcura is on our school website as well. And if you walk into the school, we do have flyers for Medcura as well. But what I think is really important and that we may be missing the mark on, that we can improve on, is when you do come into the school, just making sure the teachers are advocating for Medcura. Just making sure that that Miss Bennett, who is our secretary, is saying, hey, did you guys know about Medcura? Did you know that they're located inside of the school? Did you know that they can do anything you need them to do that a pediatrician can do? You don't have to outsource. You don't have to go and find a doctor. They're right here. They're here.
And you guys can come and visit. If you have any concerns or if you are just wanting to know what it looks like, you guys can just drop in and say, hey, can we tour the clinic? I am open to doing a stop and shop tour at any time. It does not bother me.
And so it's happening, maybe not as fast as people would like, but these small steps, everything, it's keep it going consistently. Yeah.
Another question online. I directed this one to Principal Bishop. In what ways can people who do not have children at McNair support? What needs are lacking the most from the community? Said again, in what ways can people who do not have children at McNair support, and what needs are lacking the most from the community?
I'm gonna try to be as quick as possible with this answer. My team knows I go deep. Okay, so I'm gonna try to be as concise. So the needs that we have and the things we're lacking, is that what the question was? I know I talked about partnerships, and I know I talked about mentorships. We have so many partners right now with McNair and Medcura. And I want to shout out those partners. So Georgia Power is a district partner, but they serve the McNair cluster. So let's shout out to Mr. Terry. He's amazing. Not only does he support the school with STEM, learning opportunities for the children, he also garners other partnerships as well. Hey, I know this person, they can help you with this. Hey, I know this lady, she can do this for you. Hey, I know this guy, he can help you with this. Let's bring them to the table. Let's get them in. Let's see what they can do. Of course, Medcura, wonderful, best partnership ever. Decide to Cab. Decide to Cab is under the Chamber of Commerce. They're a business retention division, and they help out as well with STEM, but not only that, they just expose our children to so much. In-house field trips, we're talking about doing some out-house field trips as well. So there's various partnerships that we have built to fulfill some of the needs and gaps that we have. The needs that we have is exposure. Our children are not getting exposed enough to career opportunities, seeing different people in different careers that look like us, if you catch my drift. Success, what does success look like? And you're a wonderful parent. I really appreciate you being here and being a wonderful parent that you are. But I think Ms. Cutno said it, every child doesn't have that. And so another thing we need also is just guardians who are not necessarily parents to get poured into as well, right? Let's hand clap for that, right? Because let's be honest, we got grandparents raising kids. And they raised their kids already, but they had to come back and do it again, right? Let's acknowledge the hardship in that. Let's acknowledge the difficulties in that. So grandparent advocacy, that's something that we need. That's something we need. Our grandparents need help because these new kids are different. I need help. She need help. The kids are different now, right? We have elementary sports. Shout out to DeKalb County School District for implementing elementary sports. That was the perfect outlet for our children. So let's give a round of applause for DeKalb County. Thank you so much, Dr. Sauce and district leadership for ensuring that we continue with elementary sports. That is amazing. And our kids just need elevated experiences, right? So what we're doing in the schoolhouse is we are ensuring that the teachers are providing students with access to grade level work, access to great teaching and learning. That's my job, right? That's what I do. That's my core work. I'm an instructional leader. I am the chief instructional leader of the school. Right? So what I want to see is elevated learning experiences. I want to see children doing hands-on projects. I want to see children reflecting. And I want to see children talking to each other, talking about the work, using the language. I want to see the children growing. I got that. But what I need from outside people, I need funding to ensure that they can go on different field trips outside of the school. I need people to be willing to come in and talk to the kids about, again, different career choices, mentoring them. And what I mean by real mentoring, I mean really mentoring, using a real framework, checking in with the kids on a structured basis, providing strategies. I mean, that real mentorship. You know, y'all remember what that real mentorship felt like? Not saying we don't have that, but if you're asking and you're willing to give, we're willing to receive.
The Big Brother and Sister program.
We're always willing to receive. And I want to shout out the district as well, because one thing about DeKalb County, they are going to support you. You make one phone call, you're going to have about 5 people on your line the next day, right? So I want to shout out to the Division of Wraparound Services because they're here on a school night. Yep. They're right back there. And I love these ladies because not only, as soon as I asked them to come, not only did they hop on it, they said, what do you need from us? We can bring this, whatever you need, we got you. And that's what I love about DeKalb, because DeKalb is the 3rd largest district in the school, in the state of Georgia, but it feels like family. And you're never gonna lack what you need as far as supports. So I wanna lift up the district and the work that they're doing to ensure the schools do feel supported and they get what they need. But it's 138 schools in the district. I can't expect them to pour all into McNair. I would love to, and those who know me personally know I'm spoiled. Yes, Terry knows. I will take all your time.
Give it all to me.
I will take all your time. Shelly Bishop knows I will take all your time. I will be on your line all night. I need this, and that, right? So what I do have to do, and I've leveraged very well, is those outside partnerships. So if there's anything that I missed, team, yes, or parents, anything that you think that we need that I might have missed, because I'm looking at more of a global view, but if there's anything else granular that you think we need, please let me know.
Yeah, I would like to just add, and that was an amazing question for, the crew online. One thing that we have to recognize that we have, that we may not always think that we have, is capital, social capital, right? A lot of us in a room can spend our face like we spend money. Principal Bishop already named. Terry made a couple calls and made a couple connections. Sometimes if you don't have anything else to give but a resource and a referral, that's good enough. right? Maybe we don't have money to pour in and invest or fund a field trip, but can you make a call to somebody who knows somebody? Can you come and volunteer? Can you come out to the school if you get approved, because we got to keep our baby safe, right? Can you come out to the school and volunteer, you know, for parent pickup and dismissal to make things a little bit easier? Can you talk to your principal or your school staff and say, hey, where are your gaps? You know, are y'all running a little short on staffing? Do I need to come help out in the lunch hour? Like, those are so many ways that you can get involved. And then finally, if you can't do any of those things, you can use your voice. And so you can always speak up and share, hey, this is what's happening at McNair. Here are some opportunities for other people to get involved. If you go to work and you know your job has some community give back that they need to do, make that connection, right? If you see the flyer for the event, you're like, well, my child don't go to McNair, tell somebody else. You hear something going on in the community, like, elevate those things, because sometimes that's all it takes for us to really build community even broader and even greater than we do currently. So using your voice, using your resources, using connections, even when you don't have money. Sometimes all you got is time. We'll take that. Trust me. You're going to argue with it. We'll take the time, you know, and just thinking about how else you can show up and just give your knowledge or your insights, right? Maybe you don't have a lot of time or money, but you can hop on a quick call and talk to Principal Bishop and say, here's some ideas. Here's a couple ways that I'm brainstorming. You know, like I said, I've got a teenage son. I saw a gap with one of his classes. The teacher wants to develop a curriculum around business exposure. And I said, well, let me look at your list. Let's sit down and talk about it. Let me see who I know, who I can call to get you this kind of support. And so sometimes that's what it looks like. And so I love whoever asked that question. I would encourage you to please connect with Principal Bishop, or please connect with Nurse Washington and Ms. Williams, because these are the ways that you can step up and start to use some of your talent, your skills, and your resources if you don't have any dollars to give, any funding, or, you know, anything else.
And I want to lift up something you said earlier about lack of trust. So what I do recognize about a lot of the parents that we serve, they came up through McNair, through the McNair cluster. Right. So the reputation precedes, right? So, yes. So, thank you. Thank you. Yes. So I recognize that, and the lack of trust that parents have of the schoolhouse just in general outside of McNair. They may not have had the best school experience. So that carries through. And unfortunately, yes, we carry that and we instill that in our children. We may not trust the schoolhouse, so we tell our children, I don't trust them teachers, don't do this, you know, and I get it, and that's a real thing. So I'm gonna be very transparent right now with you guys. Can I be honest? I know there's a lack of trust. I know McNair has a reputation. We had a nickname. I know the nickname. I'm not going to say the nickname. Right. I know the nickname. A student taught at McNair Middle School 12 years ago. No, I'm sorry, not 12 years ago. Ooh, I'm shorting myself. 16 years ago. Yes. Yes, 16 years ago. A student taught at McNair, and I knew the reputation then. But it didn't matter to me. I taught at Flat Shoals Elementary School. And yes, I did a lot of my leadership on the north end of the cab, but I knew I wanted to be a principal back in this cluster. I chose McNair. I chose this cluster. I told Dr. Horton, I want McNair Discovery Learning Academy. He looked at me and was like, did you just tell me what school you wanted? Yes, I did. And he put me here. So I know there's a lack of trust. I know the reputation precedes us, but I promise you, if you just promote all the great things that we are doing here at McNair, that will help. My charge was to rebrand this school, and I feel like I am doing a great job. I feel like we are doing a great job. And I'm going to continue as long as I'm here to build more partnerships, pour into you all as parents, and continue to rebrand our school. That is the charge that I was given, and that's the charge I'm going to continue with. So please continue to advocate, continue to talk about the great things that are happening, and if you have an issue or a concern, hit my line. I'm always available, and if I'm not, somebody else will help. Somebody else will pop in because they know my vision. They know how to, they all little bishops at this point. Everybody's a little bishop. Everybody knows what I'm going to say or what, you know, what the vision is. and what we're going to do and what we can do to help. So call the school if you have any concerns or like she said, feedback, anything that you all need. We're here to make a difference in our community.
Okay.
I kind of want to circle back. I didn't get an answer to, he was saying the coping. What do we do for the young kids? Because I know we're doing stuff for the older kids, but younger is better if we can get them at an earlier age. What are we doing for the coping? And then also, you listed some names of programs that we have for mental health. Are we educating our parents on what those names actually have under the program and what it offers to the parent? Because just like kids, parents are shy too, so they may not want to come and address you. But are we educating them when they're here? Are we educating our students to make it a normal thing and not something that's taboo? Making them feel that it's normal having mental health awareness months, stuff like that. Do we do that within the school system?
The district has, our district program for that is Second Step. So, and McNair is really, I don't know, well, there are probably other schools, but they actually have those lessons. The teachers are doing that as opposed to the counselors. Of course, the counselors are doing the bullying in October and the good touch, bad touch in March. But the teachers actually do those lessons, and that helps with the coping part. And there's 4 areas. They have anger management, decision making, whole listening, little things like that. So that's been going on since I've been there. So we are addressing that. And in terms of informing the parents, letters do go home. I'm not sure if they're reading them or not, but letters do go home to the parents. Now, we could do more. Of course, we could do more in terms of lifting that part up.
Right. Like, as she was saying, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh,
as
okay.
she was saying, reaching out to the parents where they are, because we are a generation that is social media driven. Mm-hmm. Are we connecting to them on that level of, you guys have YouTube, do you have a TikTok account? Mm-hmm. Is it somewhere that they can vent with being anonymous, or, ask for information without being, with being anonymous, so they won't,
And I think that's a really great suggestion, and it's something that I'm happy to help brainstorm and figure out with Principal Bishop, because those opportunities to get those questions answered in a safe space is really important. What I also say is, our program historically is always focused on the older group, but we do have other partners within our ecosystem. When I say our, more so in the violence prevention space, but we have an organization. The curriculum is called I Like Me, and I'm happy to share it with Principal Bishop to see if that's something that we would be willing to adopt in the school. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of partnership and a little bit of research. And so if it's something that you would like to see, your parents would like to see that don't currently exist, we can brainstorm that. We can figure it out. We've got the resources to build that in place. And then I also think, Ms. Williams, you touched on the social emotional learning. Mm-hmm. So I do want to call out that it's not even just during the awareness months or the awareness days. That's built into the curriculum daily. Am I right?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. And I don't know if Gaither, you feel comfortable talking about, there's character ed lessons that he does. I don't know those, but you want to speak to it a little bit? So there's a lot that address coping. That's what I'm saying, but go ahead.
Okay, Ms. Bishop and I, at the beginning of the year, we talked about a lot of different things, how to approach our students. One, a lot of our students are experiencing different levels of trauma. Every household is different. So one size does not fit all. But we want to give them an avenue, a way to reach or be heard. So we set up lessons with Second Step. That's one way. I visit the classrooms monthly. I work with Ms. Ward Jackson. She visits monthly. And then we have our social worker for those intense situations. So parents approach us about those intense situations. And as you mentioned earlier, RTI, some things are working around, some things like it's educational, and the kids are having a difficult time in the educational environment. We went through COVID. A lot of the things we're experiencing are students that are coming out of COVID. And so a lot of our PTAs, we're developing that now. And so we got people helping people now. We're coming out of our shells. And so the students are having a difficult time communicating. They have their cell phones, and I appreciate not having cell phones in school so that they can communicate with one another. So we're just now getting back to socialization, okay? So playing more. We've got extended recess time. So now we're building those strengths, those communication skills with students. So if a parent wants to support us, volunteer, join the PTA. Those are things that we can do to help our school. But as far as the curriculum in the school, we build that. I send out lessons for the whole year that teachers can grab and work with their students. And we have schedules, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, by grade level, who have opportunities to use Second Step to work with those students. And then if they need more intense or more individualized care, they can see me. And if it's family-oriented, if it's family-based, I can go with my social worker. So we really have those avenues, but parents, again, have to come into the school, join the PTA. When we have our PTA nights or PTA morning breakfasts, they can come in and join and listen and say, hey, I may need this, I may need that. So we are approachable, and we understand everybody's coming out of a shell. So just make yourself available and, relax a little bit.
We
Thank
do
you.
have Breakfast with Bishop. It's a monthly installment that I started when I became the principal at McNair. It's kind of like a coffee and conversations. So the Breakfast with Bishop, I provide breakfast and just a space where you can be vulnerable and talk about the things that you would like to see us implement as a school. We also talk about data because I'm big on data and numbers, and I feel that as parents, one way I can also empower you is to give you the raw data and the numbers of where we are. Kind of give you like a little reality check. This is where we are, and this is how we can get to where we want to be with your support. So I still do those. So please come out. I love to talk to the parents. I'm not shy, and I don't want you all to be shy, but I do also recognize that coming to the neighborhoods is just as important because they need to see us in their spaces as well. So that's why we are here at the church. That's why I had a street team. I call them street committee. They went over to the Hamp, and they walked through the Hamp, and they were like, come on out, y'all. Come to the town hall so that your voice can be heard. So it's not to say that this is a one-stop shop. We have one more town hall in March. So everybody who's out there in YouTube land, digital land, we have one more town hall in March. Please let us know in the comments what topics you want us to tackle. This is our last one, and we want to go big on the last one. So we need all of you all to come. We have Milestones Night coming up as well in March. We have our Black History program tomorrow coming up. So there's so many things that are happening at McNair, and we're changing the game, but we need you guys to come to our events so that we can develop that relationship and we can get that FaceTime with each other. So please come out to the events that we have at the school. And your kids need to see you support them. Right? Mom talked about all those hidden talents that our children have, but if our parents are not there to support and pour into those talents, they wither away. It's so many notes on that paper.
It is so many notes on this paper. And that's because you all were filled with so much information. There is so much information that was shared. So if I were a parent, I'd be really overwhelmed. So I could just tell you what I've observed because I think like an app. So you're an app, you're a face on the app, you're a face on the app, you're a person on the app, but you're human. So if I were a parent, if I needed to, click on a certain thing and said, okay, so she was talking about, she's a counselor, she works for Medcura, and she works for Emory, and she does violence, and she's the principal, and she has the mentees and everything. So if it were something that I were interested in, I would go on the website to see, how can I get help? And now with intelligent workflows and AI, are you using those tools to leverage where people should go to get the help that they need? So if they need mental health, does the AI direct you to say, okay, you can talk to Ms. Williams or you can talk to Ms. Washington? Or if we need, if they're experiencing this issue, can it point them to a person that they speak to for whatever issue that they're experiencing? Because it is a lot of information, and in this age, it's not that, we need to have the access. Not only do we need access, we need to know the who so that we can find out the how, So that's what would be my challenge if I were a parent.
So I'll let Principal Bishop talk about how we can get access to the apps up on the stage from the school perspective, but there is also a website that we use at Emory for any of our patients, inpatient, coming through the emergency department, at any rate that we need to connect them with support, and it's called findhelp.org. And so we're able to make direct referrals through that system, but then also anybody is welcome to go and navigate that site and literally drill down to the specific needs that they have and navigate that. Go ahead. Find Help. So FINDHELP. I'm Southwest Atlanta to my core, so I'm very sorry. Findhelp.org.
So everybody on YouTube, findhelp.org, and that's through Emory.
So we have a interface in that, but that is for any and everyone. So there are organizations all across the city, all across the state that utilize Find Help. So wherever you are that needs some support, you can access it through that system.
For McNair, what I will say for me, in my email, there's a space where you can press a link to book time with me. On the website, all of our emails and everything are there, but what I would like to do is I would like to streamline more what you're saying of like a click of a button where someone can reach out to us. We do have an Instagram. The Instagram is ran by me and our IT technician teacher that is at our school. So we will get a direct message. I'll get it. She'll get it. But I do recognize and hear what you're saying of there's got to be more of a workflow, an easier workflow when it comes to accessing all of the resources that we have to offer, whether they want to book time with me, my assistant principal, our counselor. So I know Mr. Gaither does have a virtual office that he had set up back in COVID. Is it still working? I think that's what she's saying. She's saying that there may be a need for more of a space where they can do a virtual chat, or there can be like an instant answer from you, or at least maybe a 24-hour turnaround answer. Like if you go on a website, most of them have virtual agents. DeKalb doesn't have those features on their websites. I love you, DeKalb, but I need y'all to pay for that. I need y'all to pay for that. But most websites, most corporations pay for a platform that supplies a virtual agent or virtual assistants when people are not available, right? Because I don't need help between the hours of 9 to 5. I need help outside of those hours too, right? So I hear what you're saying as far as being more efficient in meeting the needs of our families. So
and
that's
it'll also enrich your data, like you like data, so it'll tell you what the people need the most,
okay. Gaither and Woodard, can y'all write that down? I'm not gonna pay for no virtual agent. That's expensive. No. But Google Voice text. Yeah, but we'll talk about some ways that we can at least make sure that on the website there's a place for the parents to send an email, submit a form. It's easy. I already got a way we can do it.
Look at that.
It'll be up there tomorrow.
Advocacy. Look at that.
Go ahead, yeah.
All right, proud day one, McNair Discovery Learning Academy
Come on now,
parent here.
Yes.
All right. My son is now 21, so I've been at we've been advocates for McNair Discovery Learning Academy from day one. Welcome, Principal Bishop. I was thinking when you were talking, so you don't need a virtual agent. The talents that we talked about for the children, get approval from the kids with the talents, those parents. You have to, I know you do newsletters. I love to read. I hate reading newsletters. But
They are long.
But if you put your newsletter in a 30-second reel, I'll watch that. We got to come and meet the people. I wanted to say this as a parent. The best source of assistance for our children is parental involvement. You can have all these resources, but if you show up, they will. You show up, not just on Awards Day, Black History Program,
Valentine's Day parties.
Valentine's Day,
St. Patrick parties.
take a little walk through the place. My kids never knew when I was showing up, so they was always on their best behavior. Sometimes I would take a walk through the school and make sure they didn't see me, but their friends did. Your mom was here. Mom, you was at the school? Yes, and I saw you. Not that they were doing anything wrong, but you are the best source of information for your child. They will operate off you. But you have to meet, in the generation that we're in, they're not coming to the school. You don't need a virtual assistant. If you do a 30-second reel, the comment section is your virtual assistant. Just go back at a specific time or say, hey, I'm gonna be live in this reel at this time where they can answer their questions. Being a pastor, I know people don't have any problem telling their business at all. They put it all online. So it's not that they don't want to share or want to ask questions, it's the when and where you're trying to get them to. I will come to breakfast with Bishop, but most people don't have that opportunity, you know. But if you do breakfast with Bishop, bring your own breakfast, and we're gonna talk online, they'll show up to that. Because they can do that while they work, or they can do that while they're doing something else, or they can come back and see the information you gave, but not gonna read your newsletter and gonna swipe your, they're gonna swipe, and they're gonna swipe your calling post to the left, and then say you didn't give them the information, but you did, but you gotta come to where they are. Online is definitely where they're located. 30-second reels, grab your information, teach it to the students with the talents, let them give the information. The facts are that 30% of students are whatever. Let the kids do it. They're gonna watch their kids.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That is a good
Drop the mic down. That's a good one. Can we make note of that too, Ms. Woodard?
Come on,
and Mr.
Advocacy.
Gaither?
Look at that.
30-second reels, as well as the students talking about some research, some data that we have, and then some ways that parents can improve and students can improve.
And use the babies to do the announcements too. Hey, parents.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Did y'all know that?
No. I'm talking about online.
Oh, online.
Hey,
Okay.
Town Hall. What's the date?
The 24th?
The 24th. No, not today.
Oh.
Next month.
Next month, yes.
Next month.
Yes,
Get the babies
yes.
on there to say next
That's a
month.
good idea.
Town Hall. Pull up.
That's a good idea.
See what I'm saying? Look at that advocacy.
What are the comments saying, Gore? What are the comments saying?
Well, I actually have a question.
Okay.
So 11 days ago, our county made an announcement, and I, again, as another day one celebratory founding parent of the DLA, I noticed a pattern. When they built the DLA, 4 schools were closed to make the DLA. And the list looks like Southside is going to suffer again, 27 schools. It's great that we're having this amazing conversation, and I love that Medcura is in the building. But I feel like this is counterproductive to get the SIM certification set back in our school, to get Medcura in the building, to get all these amazing things right here, and then let the DLA be on the list. What do we need to do to help make sure that we can help advocate for you or advocate alongside you? Because one of the meetings was actually tonight. We're in competition with the meeting right now.
Correct.
How do you need us to show up so that the DLA is not on this list? Because I took it personal when I saw the DLA on the list.
Me and you both. I was like, what'd I do wrong? Let me say this in the most politically correct way that I can, because the student assignment project it's real and it's necessary. I get it. You know, closing schools is more financially, you know, it helps with the district as far as saving money, right? We have to be we have to have financial efficacy. That's what they say. And they're also looking at buildings that may or may not be educationally adequate, right? And I know this is a hot topic, and I know we're on YouTube live. I did send this to the staff. I did send this to my boss. I'm gonna be very PC when I say, yes, we're on the list of closing or repurposing. Right now, there are scenarios. These are scenarios. They are not decisions. They are conversation starters. And so, yes, there are SAP meetings happening, correct me if I'm wrong, every night. Some are in person, some are virtual. I did place those meeting dates and the links on the newsletter, the long one that anybody reading, but it is on the newsletters. Please attend those meetings as community members. You don't have to be a parent to attend those meetings. You can be community members. You can advocate for us staying open. You can advocate for us, for all the things that are happening at the school and why we need to stay open to ensure that our children in this community get all of the resources and things that they need. Was I scared when I saw the list? I'm gonna be honest, yes, I was. Was I questioning everything that was happening, all the partnerships, Medcura, everything? Yes, I was, yes. Like, why? Why are we on this list? Do I get it from a budgeting, financial, logistics piece? Yes. At the end of the day, I'm a district leader. I understand. I get it. But is it scary? Yes. Are we closing? I don't know. I can't answer that. I really cannot answer that because I'm not the decision maker when it comes to that. But guess who is? You are. Everyone out there, you are. Please attend the SAP meetings. Advocate for McNair. Talk to them about the great things that we're doing and why we need our building to stay open for our children. Please. They happen every night. They are in person and they are virtual. We have a visit with Dr. Sauce on Friday. He's coming to our school. Please believe. Yes, he's going in classrooms. He has a schedule, but please do understand, if you know me personally and professionally, you know I'm talking to him. I'm pulling him in before he leaves. Hey, can I talk to you for a second? Dr. Sauce, I just want to pick your brain, right? But guess what? He's coming to the school to see classrooms, but that's the opportunity for him to see all the great things that are happening. And best believe, he's going to the Medcura clinic. Amen. Please believe he's going to the STEM lab. Please believe he's going to the aquaponics lab that we have, right? Please believe he's going outside to see all the work and the painting and the reimagining that we're doing to the building. He's about to see all that. I'm about to walk him to death. We about to get our 10,000 steps.
Keep him alive. I don't need him coming to Hillendale. Just to add to that, attend the meetings, and I'm not the expert here, but what I am great at is community organizing. So if our principal is saying attend these meetings, show up for our principal and for our community and for our babies and attend these meetings. Also, there might be an opportunity for somebody who is not a principal to help everyone else advocate and organize, right? And so how can we be creative with getting that message out there? How can we convene? Pastor, how can we come back and have another conversation where we're rallying together and speaking about what needs to happen? How can we galvanize? How can we appoint people in the audience? Hey, I need you to take the lead on this. I need you to take the lead on that. Because maybe our principals cannot, but the community can. Okay, so we'll just leave it there. Just go back to MLK.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And that's a real concern. We've had parents calling the school asking, what am I going to do with my baby? What am I going to do, with school? Let me say this too. SAP is a 6 to 8 year process, so it doesn't happen overnight. Yes, there are schools that are on the list. Yes, there's a process for this. They do have an outside company that they've hired to do the work. So there is no personal investment. There's no conflict of interest. But this is a 6 to 8 year process.
And the reason I ask that is because I need you to be able to say to us how we can walk a line. I need people to hear what you need us to do so that they pass over. That's all that matters.
And that's a good, I knew that was going to come up tonight. And Pastor Gore, it takes community pillars like you and your wife to tell your congregation, because they do have children that go to McNair. They have children that matriculated through the McNair cluster. You have children in DeKalb. You all have children in DeKalb County. Advocate for us. Go to the SAP meetings, but talk to your congregation about going to the Student Assignment Project meetings. Again, they offer virtual and online. Email the superintendent. Email whoever you need to email to just say all the great things that are happening in the community. I cannot do it by myself. I cannot do it by myself. And I'm not going to try to do it by myself. I need help from you all. Again, I know it's scary. I know that there's a lot of uncertainty around school closures. Other districts are doing it. APS did it. There are other school districts that are following, because the reality is people are not having kids at the rate they used to have kids. Birth rate is low. It is low, it's low. That's a reality. The economy, yes, the economy. The economy is bad, right? And the enrollment's down. DeKalb County used to have almost 100,000 plus children. We're teetering 80,000. That's dangerous, y'all. And they can't operate all of the buildings and then have the money to pay the teachers. And let me tell you something, baby. The teacher pay. Teachers need to get paid more. Mm-hmm. Right? Right? Amen. Right? Counselors need to get paid more, right? Right? Right. But they can't do these things if we are operating 138 buildings in the red. It's just, that's why I understand as a district leader, I get it. I get it. But you can't close McNair. So just advocate for us to your congregation and pray. Please pray for us. Pray for us. I'm a spiritual woman. Pray for us, please. If y'all don't do anything else, pray for McNair that we continue on a path of success so that we can prove our worth.
Also, they send out surveys. If you can't go to the meeting, just stop swiping that survey and complete it. Complete the survey. If you complete the survey, maybe you can't go to the meeting, but your voice can still be heard.
Wait, it's 7:45, Pastor. It's time to go home.
Unless we having prayer meeting.
Pastor Gore looking at me like, wrap it up. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Can we please give a standing ovation to our panelists? Stand up on your feet. Wood, get up. Thank you all for doing this. I took time out of your personal day time to have you all talk to the community, but you guys killed that, did that.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank y'all for welcoming me into the family. I know I'm a new face for everybody in here, but I'm here to stay. And one last note I want to make about the closures and the SAP meetings, et cetera. When we organize, there's power in that. It has worked. When I say shared messaging, let's get everybody understanding the issue and speaking the same language, so we are a united front when we go and make our requests. There's power in that. And there are groups specifically designed to support that. And so, you know, part of my charge, I will be happy to take that on and get us connected, to get us the information that we need so we can say the right thing. Amen. Thank you, sister. You know what? I think I'm a great asset too. So if there's anybody online watching that need a wife, let me know. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate both of y'all.
Group hug. Black girl magic. We gotta do a photo op, y'all. Come on, y'all. Y'all know we like family gatherings. Come on. Come on.
Because I want to freestyle.
Thank you, YouTube family. Thank you, everyone.
Sister, I think we all fine. Oh, we all, okay. Are we all fine?